Being in the midst of day-to-day school operations, we find ourselves just in the middle of so much. There are so many things that come at principals in a split second. A lot of times before the principals even hit the door, there are at least 5 or 6 things already waiting in the office for them. And what about the teachers? Teachers sometimes have from 30 students to 120 students in some cases that are rotating through their classes every single day. Working in a school every single day consists of a series of multitasking, going from one thing to the next. You are multitasking minute by minute, day after day. And so sometimes we have to just really think about what is it that we're doing. We have to sometimes stop or either slow the motion down just a little bit to really take a look at the situation. Sometimes as educators, we should think before acting. And it just goes back to that principle of thinking twice and acting once. Really observe the situation before placing judgment, before acting on it, or coming to a decision really quick. There were times as a leader where I would give myself 24 hours. That is, if the case itself allowed me to. I would give myself 24 hours before making a decision. Because sometimes we need to just ponder some things and just take all aspects into account. You see, working with students, a lot of times there's no black and white, yes or no answer, this or that. There are so many things that need to be taken into consideration. And so, in many cases, we should observe before acting. Another thing that we should consider doing is approaching every situation with caution, optimism, and grace. So when you're working with students, sometimes it's like opening a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're gonna get from one minute to the next or from one day to the next. And so if a situation comes up, yes, we should definitely be cautious. We have to definitely keep our eyes and our ears open and pay attention to all of the different elements. So we should be cautious, but we should also be optimistic. And that relates to seeing the best in our children, seeing the best in our colleagues who are working with us in this community to provide the best learning environment for students. Know that your colleagues are there for the same reason you are, to help students. That in itself is a reason to be optimistic. And then approach every situation with grace. Sometimes this might be hard, but again, it goes back to stopping and really observing before acting. Try to be graceful in what it is that we say and how we do what we do. After we have observed before acting, and after we have approached each encounter with caution, optimistic, and grace, when we get to the point where we are ready to make a decision, we should make that decision courageously, confidently, and then we should stand tall with our decision. Now, whether or not it's the best decision, sometimes that remains to be seen. And then sometimes it may not have been the best decision and it comes around really quick. But you know what? just know at that moment you made the best decision that you thought at the time, and in the event that it wasn't, count it as a lesson learned.